What's up guys, it's Talon here, and in today's video I have a different type of VOD review in store. Today I'm going to be VOD reviewing my own personal engagements with some of Fortnite's best professional players. But before I get into this VOD review guys, if you do enjoy my content or find what I'm telling you helpful, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. Also, if you wish to support me in another way, use code Talon.fn in the Fortnite item shop, #ad. But without further ado, let's just jump right in. We're going to start off here by looking at professional players I've fought on the NA East region. Now, this first player that I'm going to be showing in this clip is very well known, a multi-FNCS champion. Comment down below if you think I win or not. Obviously, at the end of the clip, you're going to find out who it is and whether or not I win. And I'm going to go through and talk about some things that he did well, some things that I did well, some mistakes I made, and maybe some mistakes that he made as well, depending on the outcome. Now, I'm kind of pushing this drop here up in Arena. I noticed that this player is right here, and as I'm trying to get a beam on him, now this is the Primal Rifle season, so Season 6. I get kind of third-partied here, and this particular opponent hears it. You can see him creeping up. Thank God for the bubble builds, I can see him. Now, I basically have a good opportunity here to get some damage, and unfortunately, I just don't capitalize. I aim too low, and he gets a little 30 chip tag. Now, I realize that I kind of want to get time to reload my RPG, but what I do here, which is good, is I create 2 boxes worth of space, and this actually gets him to overstretch. Now, I don't know if he thought that I was significantly weaker from the fact that I got beamed, but this opponent plays incredibly aggressive. And what he's going to do here to capitalize, I actually own all of the pieces there except for that back wall which has been broken. But what he does here is he smacks my wall immediately and gets a form of piece control in. What I usually like to do is sit back, ramp phase. This opponent, being obviously an FNCS champion experience, knows that piece controls really well. What really ends up working out well for him is that the game cannot decide whether it wants me on top or below the cone. So when I make an edit, it decides to fling me up. As you see, I just kind of fling up wildly, and he basically ramp exploits him with only a 30 tag of damage, so probably just a little bit brain dead, but that is obviously confidence in his aim and playing in Arena, probably not taking it too seriously. He jumps in, hits me for about 108, I hit him for 100, and then you're gonna see he just finishes me up. I crack his shield, but look down below. At this time, this is when Miro was in Extra, now in TNA, so the multi-FNCS champion kills me pretty easily. Didn't have to work too hard. One ramp exploit in, and I kind of choked. A little bit embarrassing on my part, but again, I don't mind dying to a 3-time FNCS champion. But let's take a look at the next pro that I get into an engagement with. This second NA East player is one of the most well-known players in the entire Fortnite community, regardless of him just being on NA East. This player comes in with a respectable $10,480 earned, but is mainly well known for his creative abilities. If you think I win, comment down below. And also, who do you think this player is? Now, I'm going to kind of explain the Black story because this fight also, kind of like the Miro fight, ends relatively fast. I'm sitting here waiting to get to champs at around 4K points. I'm playing incredibly passive. This is early at this point in the season, so I'm basically facing good players, as you're going to see here. I eventually sit here just kind of playing passive, waiting for moving zones to start. I'm decently set. Some floppers, but this opponent starts pressuring my wall. Now, this is something that I always tend to do, especially with my ping now. Here, in-game, I know it says 25, but at the start of the game, I'm usually around 50 at this point. Now, I'm on 60 plus 70. If you are familiar with this channel, you know I do this move a ton, especially in montages, TikToks, all that stuff. And I sit here, ramp phase, or X8 Classic, that's who created the move back in the day. I crack this opponent for 150, and this rattles him because then he makes a bunch of mistakes. And by a bunch of mistakes is basically he continues to play aggressive on me, and I don't believe he just knew that I hit him that hard. I basically want him to edit out on me, so I'm kind of baiting a spray through. I try to take the wall, but then I just will go, wait, I can edit on him and crack, and look who it is, none other than FaZe Sway, the creative demon himself. Don't worry, I checked the most recent YouTube video at the time. Yes, the usernames matched. I watched him in the replay. He was retaking, dominating kids, and yes, the TikTok of this particular clip went viral, so I'm very confident it was him. And this just shows you a mechanically gifted player can get outplayed with good aim and just doing something that is unexpected. Again, like that ramp phase, caught him off guard, and I was able to kill him in 2 shots without taking any damage. Let's hop into the next NAE pro. Next up, we have an off-spawn fight in the Cash Cup. This player is actually one of my favorite players and is fairly well known in the community as being incredibly mechanically gifted. He comes in with a respectable $28,425 earned on the NA East region. Now, comment down below who do you think it is and whether or not I come out on top. So as you're going to see here, this opponent ramps up on me. This is, again, the Primal Rifle season and the Makeshift season. I don't play the audio on a lot of these clips. I'm usually raging or saying something just not the best that I want to come out. But with this particular clip, I'm raging because he's beating me bloom fighting with a Makeshift, which I couldn't believe. His aim was very, very good, especially considering the differences in input. A little minor hint there. But this is, again, off spawn. I have a lot better RNG. I have more shield. He's fried it off a couple times now. I try to disengage, but I realized pretty early on that that's not going to happen. I only have 6 builds, and I could see his little beanie cap pop up right there. So I see it, and then I stop. And I think he just runs out of builds when I spray this part out right here, and so he just falls. So he has no choice other than to just jump in my face. He does crack my shield, but at this time, again, I had the overpowered primal shotgun, and none other than Joji right here. Now, again, not in LG anymore, in Fusion. One of my favorite players to watch. I watch all of his YouTube videos, but again, I don't attribute this particular kill on my part to any type of skill. It was all RNG. I had better shield. I had a broken shotgun. He had basically no mats, and it was off spawn. So GG's. Let's get into the next NAE Pro. This next NAE Pro comes in with a very, very good amount of earnings, 48,195, and unfortunately has been recently much maligned for his actions on stream. Again, a hint to that player is, comment down below who do you think it is and whether or not I come out on top. Now, this fight is going to be kind of a little bit different from the other ones. This is going to be a third party involved. Again, I'm going to turn down the audio so you can't hear me rage, ramble, whatever. But I'm just going to talk around the thought process, some good things that I do here, some bad things that I do. I'm fighting this other particular opponent. I actually play him pretty well. I just unfortunately don't clutch up the one shot that I need to. I take some good safe angles. I cut him off. So I realize this opponent's right here. I block him off here with a nice cone. And then I sit here on a nice right-hand peak. I make him think that I'm jumping down there, but I'm actually staying up. And I throw a ramp in his box to make him uncomfortable. And I actually piece control where he's going to be. I stay up here. I just unfortunately missed the shot. He cracks me, but I re-crack him. Now, don't look at the bottom left of the feed if you want to see it is, because this opponent is then going to pick him up. But I will always remember this engagement for being so surprised that I get shot through my builds here. This is the start of Season 7 when the rifle gun where you can shoot through builds just got introduced. It was probably 2 or 3 in the morning, and I just remember because I just couldn't believe that I had just gotten shot through my builds. You're going to sit here, I think I'm safe, taking my big pot, and then I see this railgun coming at me, and I think nothing of it, and then I get cracked for 85, and I'm so confused as to what happened. Because I realized that I thought it was a glitch. He one takes my wall again, just something you're going to just constantly see with me being on the ping I am. I actually hit him with a decent shot for this angle, 62, but he cracks me down to 3 HP. And I do a really poor job of using my little mats left to get any type of space. I do have an opportunity to hit a bailout here. I'm actually on a right-hand peak too. He kind of plays super aggressive because he knows how weak I am, how much he must have hit me for white. If I get better crosshair placement, I just whiff, right? Just it's so horrible whiff. But if I put it on his head, I might have a chance. Or if I hug a little bit tighter. But he's playing pretty aggressive because you know how weak I am. I just kind of panic, whiffed. And if you didn't see, that is none other than Paper. Again, much maligned for some of the things that he said during an FNCS that got him basically removed. His teammates disqualified. It was a really unfortunate situation. But has recently made a comeback and signed with 33. Now, let's get into the last NAE Pro. This last NAE Pro comes in with a respectable amount of earnings with $37,609. And also, who do you think it is? Do you think I come out on top? Just a warning, the clip quality is pretty bad. I used to just clip things directly straight from recording entire games. It looks horrible. I didn't use NVIDIA. And also, I'm very super choppy, exponential player, just kind of lost in the sauce at this point in my Fortnite development. But we're going to see here. I open up on this opponent, whiff a shot, jump, hit the top, and then get my wall instantly taken when I'm charging my charge. But then I make a good aggressive play, and I think it catches him off guard. As you can see, he's kind of focused on the wall. He tries to wall me off, but I've done it to the point where he doesn't expect me. I get a good crack for 87 and then floor him off. Then I full piece right here. I get a nice little clip on to this particular pro, and as you see who it is Mikey 6 of Nova Gaming, just recently signed, I believe, within the last couple of months. This was all the way back in Chapter 2, Season 5. So thus far, only taken 2 L's, gotten a couple of dubs. Now we're going to switch over to NA West again because I switched back and forth with my servers being in the center of the country. The ping difference wasn't that much. West was a little bit higher where I lived. And now pretty much it's kind of still the same deal. I can play on both servers with around the same amount of ping. It's both high, unfortunately. But let's check out some of the NA West pros I faced. The first pro in NA West is actually a FNCS champion. However, he is long retired, and he is so far retired that he's actually removed his username from the leaderboard. If you go to Fortnite tracker, it's just essentially a blank space. He won a trio FNCS. If you somehow know who this player is, and comment down below, and if you want to guess who comes out on top, again, comment down below. I don't do anything amazing in this clip. Again, like this is with my older clipping system, so it's pretty short. He is pressuring my wall here in Duo DreamHack, as you see me just choking my edits and just being completely awful. The only thing that catches him off guard is the timing. You see his pickaxe is out when I edit, but look at my crosshair placement is so horrible. I'm so far. I just get so lucky that I swing and happen to hit. And then just good movement and spray. And as you see, Andrew, again, a retired FNCS champion. If you were not into competitive Fortnite a significant amount of time ago when it was Chapter 2 early and then at the start of just the kind of inception of Chapter 2 competitive Fortnite, probably not going to know who this player is, as he is, like I said, mentioned retired, but a very fond memory of killing an FNCS champion in a big competitive tournament such as DreamHack. But let's get into the next NA West Pro. This next NA West Pro is coming in with a respectable $23,425, and hopefully you can actually tell on this clip I've now started using NVIDIA later in the season. However, my graphics card at this point was not that good, or it was just settings were bad, because it's actually been the same is what I really meant to say. Comment down below, who do you think this NA West Pro is? He is also retired, unfortunately, and do you think I come out on top? Now this fight is going to start off pretty quickly. You're going to see me do a lot of chip damage. Probably should have taken my Scar out here, but this is one of my better mechanical moments, I guess. I crack his shield right here, really focusing RPG. And our squad was feeling ourselves at this time. We had 18. I believe we ended up with like dropping a 30 bomb here as a squad, which is really, really cool, or trio, I guess. But I kind of get a nice little full piece, edit ramp, crack, and then I just use the pressure. He tries to get a return fire, and as you can see there, TRNL Cool Penguin. For those of you who are not too adept in the West scene, TRNL was a big org on West, probably second in terms of extra gaming at the time. Eventually, Cool Penguin, what he did is he signed with another team called WWG, and then after that, that org probably disappeared just as fast as it came about, and pretty much for over a year now has not played the game. Unfortunately, a very talented player with a good amount of earnings. But with that, let's get into the last player of NA West and the last player of the video. Now, this last player is kind of a debate as to whether or not he is a pro. However, I consider him having $11,870 in earnings as an acceptable barometer of someone, yes, a professional level player to make that much money from a game competitively. And another thing for me, this is nostalgic because this is probably the first moment to where I, as a player, had killed someone that I had actually already known. Now, if you're not a big person in NA West, you probably do not know who this individual is, but he's pretty well known on that region for other things involved with Discord and scrims and such as that. So there's your kind of hit. Comment down below whether or not I get the victory or if he takes me out. This is from the NA West Solo Cash Cup. You're going to see I'm kind of on higher ping here, but I would play both Cash Cups back at this point. Get a good amount of pre-fight damage, and I push just spraying here with FAMAS. I get here, I kind of just spray through. I'm trying to get his wall. I do a good job of phasing the ramp in here and making it completely uncomfortable. And I'm not going to lie, I got flamed for posting this, for calling this player a pro, but at this time I was just super excited. And the player, as you can see, Lucas is bad, very well known on the West region for being very involved with Scrim and Discord manager and all that stuff, but someone who has made over $10,000 from the game, I would definitely consider a pro. Come on, that's a significant amount of money for sitting in a chair playing a video game. But overall, guys, that is all the professional players, at least to my knowledge, that I've at least run into or have clipped. Overall, I'm actually surprised I'm sitting here at the end of the video with 6 kills and only 2 deaths, dying to Paper and Miro and then eliminating everyone else. And I'm sure there's times I ran into other pros, just maybe forgot to clip it or whatever, or just didn't see, because that's probably not a true representation of me not being that great of a fighter and a higher ping player. I'm sure I've just gotten dominated by maybe people on anonymous mode. But guys, I hope you enjoyed today's VOD reviews of me fighting these pro players. If you did, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. And I hope I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.